Hey, it's Jacob back with another matchup video. So we are going to be explaining the Birdie versus Ken matchup. And first of all, I kind of want to start off with saying that I feel like now that Ken doesn't have an invisible DP, I feel like Birdie has a better chance in this matchup. And I don't know if I'm bugging out, but I think Ken's EX Tatsu got nerfed because I've been I was like pricing against Tatsu just to see if there are any other options to go against it, and kind of like saw that it was a little easier to anti him than before. I don't know if I just like because I'm not react. I guess I don't know, because I'm just reacting at the right time because I know that it's coming. I guess that's how you could neutralize the Tatsu all the time. But if you don't react, the option was against Tatsu. It was tech basically against the air Tatsu was to jump back jab. Jump back jab was like just a good option to use. You know, it's safe to use. You know, it doesn't leave you wide open. And you could just like, it stuffs out most of its attacks. So any cannons that are doing like really bad air Tatsus, you kind of could just jump back jab. Most of the time it's gonna trade, but jump back jab is the best option against Ken's air Tatsu. If you see it coming, just jump back jab. It neutralizes it a lot better than risking getting hit by the crouching medium, by using crouching medium. So that is the kind of the universal option against Ken's EX Tatsu, air EX Tatsu. If you have a good jump back jab like Nash does as well, you can use that to poke out Ken's EX Tatsu. And another thing I want to explain is the freaking cop cars. I don't know if you heard that. Sorry about that. That they use this block screen right here, crouching medium. You know, press you crouching medium and go for the heavy kick. So if you didn't know already, heavy kick is punishable on block, but Ken has to space out really well to make it not punishable. Yeah, you gotta press right away, so you can punish it. I'm not sure if it's more punishable than it was before, but I believe it's a little more punishable. And from there you can set up your defense. So in this matchup you want to have a good defense and basically be a brick wall against Ken's, because Ken does have a lot of options to get in on you, but they're very risky options. So you want to kind of be a brick wall against Ken. And for Ken players, you know, you can easily punish this with light kick into EX Tatsu or crouching medium punch, I believe, if you input it fast enough. Like, you know, you use crouching medium punch into V trigger. It's not too much you can do off of that without V trigger, but it's still useful to get a little more damage into the EX Tatsu, and then you get some good corner carry. So Ken has good corner carry, and you don't want to be in the corner with Ken. That's kind of why he's pretty strong. But now that he doesn't have an invincible DP, most of his negative attacks can't be saved by DP anymore. So this right here, this old frame trap, well, technically it's not a frame trap, it's more of just like a pressure option to use against your opponent, because since he had invisible DP, if you try to interrupt it, he could just DP you for trying to interrupt it. So it was very risky. It was a very risky move for Ken to DP, but it was useful against players who try to press buttons, because even though he was negative, he's not negative enough to press DP basically. That's kind of why DP characters had an advantage, because they could make negative attacks, you know, a little more scarier than characters who didn't have a DP and had to use negative attacks. So now, since there's no longer useful anymore, you can kind of just press buttons freely, unless if they have meter. Obviously they have to spend meter, but with Bird, you have so much health, you can risk the Ken, you know, wasting his meter to just get you to, I guess, just to get you and get a little pressure on you. I think after this XDP, he can get a little pressure on you. He can run up on you and get some pressure. But it's very risky for a Ken to do it. So, yeah, most of his negative attacks, since he has a lot of negative attacks, they become a lot more unsafe for him to do. Okay, this is mainly just a tendency thing. It's not really tech, but I find a lot of tendencies of Ken's is to neutral jump a lot, in the corner especially. So Birdie's option, this kind of universal, but Birdie's option to kind of neutralize the neutral jumps, like when you're close up, you can just use crouching fierce if Kens have a habit of neutral jumping. Some Kens, they would it was kind of a cheap thing that a lot of characters with invincible DP would do. They would do a neutral jump in front of you and force, you know, cause you to try to dash up and get some pressure on them since they're coming down, and they would just DP you. It was kind of an annoying tactic, but it worked since it was an invincible DP. Now that's neutralized, so if you catch Ken's neutral jumping a lot, then he can be blown up for jumping. Alright. That doesn't work. What the hell? Let's do this again. I gotta work now. Come on. Okay, yeah. So that's a pretty useful tool to use against Kens. Even like just regularly, you could kind of just stick it out. Crouching medium is a good tool to use as well, since it's like if someone tries to poke out an attack while he's jumping, it'll kind of neutralize his attack. But you run the risk that they do an empty jump. It's you can whip punish it on the way down. So it's a good tool to use. Someone like, you know, does stick a button out. But basically, if you see them neutral jumping, you kind of could just really just neutralize that with that. And in season 2, you could link super with this. So it's kind of actually it's kind of. Oh yeah, since it's faster now, the V-trigger cancel, you kind of could just cancel that into V-trigger. You could get light bullhead too. I'm not pressing fast, I kind of got mashed in. Oh, that's weird. Okay. It's like from max, like right here. So. That's mainly it, just neutralizing Ken's offense, mainly his tactics to get in on you. And you know, if any Kens are going for the, you know, the run canceling into grab, it's very punishable on block. On hit it's a little more ambiguous, because on hit it's kind of like you gotta just cause you try to press a button on hit, I believe that he can still grab you. Oh no, yeah. So even if you get hit, it's still punishable. And you go for like any setup after that. But if you don't punish fast enough, that's why it's a good tool. Like, you know, Ken's using it online because you can't react that as fast. I mean, it really depends if it's laggy or not. It's more useful than if it's not laggy. But it's still a good tool to use. Like for Ken, it's not a bad tool to use. If you see someone not you always gotta test them to see if they do react to those type of things. That will indicate to you if a person is kind of like pressing buttons in between block strings. That can kind of indicate you. Or they just know that if they kind of punish you flush like that, then you kind of can figure out that they know what to do. And obviously on the counter hit from the jab, you get medium punch. So mainly just neutralizing any like just desperate attempts of Ken trying to get in on you, and you want to get that Ken out from anything. quick get up or anything like that from mid screen, because it kind of pressures him a lot now that he doesn't have invisible DP. Even his regular Tatsu is, I feel like it got nerfed as well, because his regular Tatsu, it doesn't seem as hard to punish, like, because before it used to be kind of annoying. Like Ken could like do some weird stuff with it. Yeah, I feel like it's a little easier to punish now. Like if I take a... Yeah, it's a little easier to punish, I feel, now than it was. I think his air Tatsus got punished. I mean got nerfed. So kinda RIP to Ken players. I feel like the matchup got a lot easier for Birdie. Because before the matchup was in Ken's favor, but now I feel like it's more like it might be 5-5, but maybe 6-4, just because Ken has really good options. Once he gets in on Birdie, he's kind of like useless. It's very hard for Birdie to get out. You have to just read your opponent, like what he's gonna do, and have just good defense against Ken. That's mainly what the game is going towards in Season 2, so just have good defense and just making the right decisions at the right time in this matchup. That's mainly it for this video. Just wanted to, nothing really crazy, just a little shorter than some other matchup videos, because there's not too much to the matchup. It's very simple. Just basically one character that's good defense, one character that's good offense. Mainly whose defense or offense is better than the others. Birdie's defense stays solid and neutralizes Ken's any options to get in, then Birdie's gonna win. Ken has good offense and Birdie doesn't handle it well. There's mainly nothing you could do. Actually, let me go over one more thing. To explain V triggers. Maybe stop him from Tatsuing. Yeah, before I finish explain V triggers. So, not sure if Ken got any. I'm pretty sure he's a little more scarier in V trigger. I'm not sure yet, but I think the universal thing for any EX Tatsu has always been jump back jab. So doesn't matter if he's in V trigger or not, but the properties might change a little bit. Very slightly, nothing crazy. So this is safe, but each character has a different option that they can stick out to punish any of Birdie's regular bullheads in V trigger. They are punishable, but each character has a different option. So I wanted to check if Ken has a different option against that. So I'd have to make him. Bear with me. It's gonna take a little bit. Not sure if that actually is a good reversal. Hopefully I did it right. No, I'm not sure if that's good. Oh, okay. Yep. So I'm kind of noticing that you have to wait for your opponent to try to punish it. So this is safe. But it's more like punishing your opponent. Yeah, you have to whiff punish your opponent. Before you could hit the opponent's button before it comes out. Because in Season 1, the EX headbutt in V trigger was not safe, but the regular headbutt in Season 1 without V trigger was safe against certain characters with short sweeps. So it was universally like you would sweep Birdie after his regular EX bullhead. But now that it's safe, it's more about whiff punishing someone's attempt to punish you. Yeah, so basically, like, yeah, you gotta whiff punish. Because if you try to stick a button, I mean, it depends on what button the person is using. You will get hit before it comes out. Before, that's how you would punish someone trying to punish your EX bullhead. You know, not in time. You know, they didn't punish it in time, so you would hit them automatically because they tried. Now you have to be like you have to whiff punish it. You gotta wait for the button to stick out, then stick yours after. So you kind of got to duck under. Actually, you don't have to duck under. Only Urians are 4 medium punch you have to duck under. So you kind of gotta wait for them to kill themselves, basically. So that's still the same. Not sure if he can use crouching medium punch. Try crouching medium punch. Why is it taking so long than before? I don't understand. Oh. That was godlike. Okay, yeah, so don't do crouching main punch and you can't. I mean, you can't do anything, just plus, so you just gotta hold that. You gotta hold that bullhead. It has armor and it's plus. It is armor 1 frame. That is armor 1 frame in V-Trigger. So you gotta hold that. That's the only good option about Birdie in V-Trigger. So you gotta hold that. If you attempt to try to punish, you will get punished. So Birdie's with punish any Kens who don't know that that's safe and try to attempt to press a button. Or for any players that just don't know how to punish any of the attacks. You always want to check them. If they do, then you gotta be more aware of what to use now. So that concludes this video. And if you like this video, leave a like, subscribe for more videos. And mainly that's the matchup. Is defense against offense. Who has better defense? Who has better offense? So offensive character, defense character. It's basically who has the better of each one. So that's mainly the matchup. It's basically the player, the stronger the player, basically, yeah. And so I basically made the video of every option that each character had, mainly to get in on each other in very ambiguous situations. So hope this helped you really a lot. Thanks for watching, and I am out. Goodbye.